when it comes to loans, me, I'd personally say that not loans in itself, in of itself, are not a bad thing. But you can use the loans to leverage. You can use the loans to leverage yourself and get assets, build wealth, And one such example is if you have access to loans, say at 100K, if you use that loan to buy a piece of property, this property, one, can be a factor of production. You can grow things on the property. You can lease the property, meaning it gives you cash flow. The property itself appreciates in terms of value, which means you're gaining capital gains on just owning the property. So in that case, you borrowed 100K, and let's say you pay back 120,000 or 130,000. But at the point of paying back, the value of that piece of property got to 200. You've netted 70,000 on there. So that loan gave you the opportunity, or it afforded you the opportunity to invest, the opportunity to gain an asset, the opportunity to create cash flow if you list it out or you build rentals or something. So not all loans are bad. You can always leverage on the loans, but it needs to be, I would tell people to use loans to get assets. Don't use a loan to buy a car because your buddies have cars and you feel like you're at that point of having a car. Don't use loans to ball out and stand. No, and crazy, we are at a point where people will say, oh, it's about the experiences, nini. But I would say cash is king. If you want to travel, save for your travel, pay cash. Don't get, say, a loan to travel, because you will be traveling thinking that, oh, I have a loan. It's going to interrupt. It's going to interrupt the sort of utility or joy you're getting from that experience. But if you're paying for it cash, you're left with 1,000 in your account, with no debt, with that experience and with the knowledge that you can build your account back up, then So loans are not necessarily a bad thing. How you spend the loan is meaning. So spend it on assets, spend it on things that you can leverage on. They're not always bad. A lot of people who've built wealth in our country illegally have done it with loans.
Loan. Conversation on budgeting and saving. How and where to save. I know. I listened to your conversation. I don't know. I can't remember her name. That's Sylvia or something. That's the first time actually. That's the first time I actually knew about you, Stalker.
Thank you, Evia, for making me famous. I'll send her this link.
Okay, good. So you guys were talking about SACCOs and investing in SACCOs, and I think SACCOs are a great way of saving, while still like it's saving and investing all in one. So I want you to talk about SACCOs, and let's talk about SACCOs first. About saving, not only SACCOs, just about the topic of saving. That we have. You talked about SACCOs. You talked about investing in bonds. You see how I'm a good student. So I remember that. I want you to talk about that, because by the way, when you're talking, know that you're talking to me. I am the number one beneficiary.
You're the audience. Target audience.
I'm the target audience. So about
I think first of all, the best time to save money. The best time to save money
Sorry.
Is when you have the money. So it's, it sounds like so you understand money and stuff.
True.
But the thing is, a lot of people would discount the value of their money now, and they're like, or the value of the time now.
Yeah.
And they're like, I will save when I get to 30, I will save when I have a family, I will save, and right now it's for me to invest, for me to enjoy my life, for me to have all these experiences, for me to,
yeah.
I need to, something that I hear is people will be like, oh, you don't have obligations, you don't have children, you don't have fees to pay, you don't have ABC.
Yeah.
So,
enjoy life.
Live it up. Yeah. And I don't think that is
right.
Yeah, I think actually when you don't have those obligations, that's the time you should double down and be very aggressive with your saving, with your investing, because of compound interest. You don't have obligations now, which means you can spare more now. And whatever you spare, whatever you've saved and invested, then can go on to generate income or cash flows for you that will help cushion your life when now you have those obligations. Because for one, school is not cheap in this country.
Yeah.
Two, diapers in the car 2K every week.
Yeah.
And when you think about the earning opportunities in Kenya, how people are making their money, about 74% of employed Kenyans earn under 50K a month.
Yeah.
If you do the math, you see pesa mob.
Yeah.
You see pesa mob. Because let's assume somebody is paying rent, even 20.
Yeah.
I'm a 50K. You're left. Okay, the 50K is gross. So if you net it out, it comes to like 30 something. So you have this country of yours. Mtali pays the taxes. Mtali pays the taxes. Tuta. Because so it's going to rent. Transport is like maybe 6K a month.
Yeah.
You have bills and utilities, you have food, you still have, other obligations that a lot of people don't factor in into the budgets, car, black tax, support your friends, and you still want to save, still want to invest.
You might have that friend.
You might, nakwambia, oh, mi sitaki chicken in leo.
Yeah.
So the best time to save is when you don't have those obligations. I like savings in SACCOs because of they give you a decent return. Okay, they give you a fair return from your money. I've asked multiple banks on their savings account how much interest they're giving on the same, and you're finding somebody telling you 1%, 2% per annum. Then if you factor in inflation, your money is losing like 6%, 7% of its value per annum. So tayari you're negative. Then kuna ledger fees that are much more than 1% per annum. Like, what am I doing here? If I'm giving you my money to keep it, I get nothing. If anything, you're taking from it. So at no point do I advocate for savings accounts with the banks. until they hear, maybe they'll see this video, create a new product that gives us 18%. And at that point, I will be the biggest promoter.
Amen.
As at the moment, SACCOs are fair because they would give you like 1% per month, which translates into 12% per annum. So if you had saved 100K and you didn't touch it, you should expect maybe something like 120, or 12,000. Then other than the good interest on your income, it can become an asset in the sense that it's creating cash flow for you, because these people will issue out dividends from the money that you saved, and you earn an extra source of income. I see some. We just had an AGM for the circle that I'm a member of, Juicy, and Leonie messaged the dividends, and I smiled to myself. I was like, this is nice.
This is nice. This is good news.
It's a confirmed. Wow. And you didn't expect that. What I like about SACCOs is they give you access to cheap credit. So if you've saved 100K and they tell you can borrow up to 3 times, that means from the 100K you have, you can access 300,000. 300,000 ni pesa unaweza fanyia kitu. Unajua?
Good money,
Ni pesa unaweza fanyia kitu. And then because you've developed that discipline of saving, ataka ulianza na hiyo 1,000 every month, so that you get to that 100. At this point, it's reinforced that good behavior, and you'll find yourself now even saving more, because you see, we're all selfish. We all want something that we can benefit from. So if you have 100,000 and you see you have access to 300K, you will think to yourself, what if I have 1 million? That means I can have 3 million in terms of a line of credit. And that's just for the most common like loan products. If you look at things come mortgages, etc., my current SACCO can offer me up to 7 times of my savings as a mortgage, up to 30 million. Up to 30 million. So inamaanisha, if I had if I had 8 million, 9 million or 10 million in terms of saving, I can get 30 million. 30 million, I can build a whole estate. I can build an estate, and it generates income that mortgage can pay for itself. Of course, kuna fine print, you need to read all of those things. But the fact that, one, it's reinforcing the behavior of saving. 2, it's turning out into an asset, being that it's giving you a return in terms of dividends. And 3, the fact that it's giving you a line of credit. To me, that is one of the best avenues for saving and investing. Because while you're saving, you're automatically investing. Other avenues need you to be a bit deliberate on what it is that you count, just for you to save. Investment banks and investment opportunities, you're just investing. You don't get like a line of credit, but of course they have their own limitations. So for example, with SACCOs, when you're choosing a SACCO, which is another video, when you're choosing your SACCOs, you need to choose one that you can get, say, guarantors. You need to choose one that has existed for a while, and has consistently paid out dividends or given results from the loans that are issuing out. So there are very many SACCOs. The regulation around them is becoming stricter and stricter every day, but there's always a SACCO with a product for you, depending on what exactly it is that you want.
Yeah.
But it reinforces that good behavior because there's a reward for the saving that you're having. Other avenues of investing, this really depends on your risk profile. You can be a risk-averse person, which means you don't want to risk anything and you want to preserve your capital, or you can be a risk-tolerant person, where, you know, unaambiwa hii pesa inaweza potea, but for you, you see the upside as worth the risk. And now you can be anywhere in between. You know, the profiles vary. So the type of investment really depends on you and the type of risk profile you have, and the sort of commitments that you want to do it. An example of some good choices for risk-averse people, don't say savings account, but some, depending on the amount, some people are able to negotiate better rate. So savings accounts, even with SACCOs, you can have government bonds and treasury bills. And this is because the government always pays, you know. You have money market funds that are tailored to be very conservative. So for them, a lot of them will assure you that they will preserve your capital. So if you give them 100,000 and everything went south, you know, the world experienced pandemic, a disease they never expected, unprecedented, the least they will do is keep your 100K as 100,000. So then depending if you have a higher appetite for risk, because with increased return, you can now move into things like equities, where they can tell you, you know, you can invest in this year, stock at 24% on your investment, but ukaange ukijua at this 24%, if the market goes south, everything can disappear. There's some people who would be like, it's better. I've looked at the market and it sinking is unlikely, so you do. And there's another one who would be like, no, this is not for me.
Bye.
Cash me outside. There is also investing in businesses. Both, it can be your own business that you start, or it can be somebody else's business that you're investing in and getting equity. Those tend to be also very profitable if they go how they are expected to go. Amount of money that also forces you to be a certain type of investor. For example, somebody with 100 million will not put that whole 100 million in, say, a business. Because one, you won't use all of it, and it's too much hassle. You know, you need to keep up. So you find they're called institutional investors. So you find that these people would rather put it in a government bond where they can negotiate the rate and say, instead of this 10% that you're giving the market, I want 16% for my 100 million. The government will be, I bet, you know, you get your 16 million every year. You've not lifted a finger, you know, you're doing something else. So it really depends on the amount of money you want to invest, the sort of commitment you want from the investment, and your risk profile. And your risk profile. So you don't know what type of person you are.
I don't know if I'm in between, because sitaki ku risk tena sana, but I'm also like, let's see what happens, you know. If
bad. If bad,
but not all the time. You, what kind of a risk profile? What una range ya wapi wewe risk profile yako?
I have tendencies of both ends.
Yeah.
I would want to preserve my capital, but I understand that with everything in life, there's a trade-off. So it's either you trade off the return or you trade off the uncertainty. And something that I have come to appreciate is we're never certain when it comes to investments. Yeah. Even these sure ones, somebody at the back of their head should know that things might go south and you lose everything. No. So, because I appreciate that fact, it allows me to, be a bit risk tolerant. But it needs to make sense for me. If it's something that I think makes sense, then
you'll jump in.
Yeah, I'll jump in. But then you need to be conscious of being greedy, because when you're greedy, you're going to fumble and you lose everything. So I'm very patient when it comes to like my investment decisions. I don't feel like coerced into investing now. A lot of salespeople for these different programs, these different products will come to you and tell you, oh, you need to save saizi next week, this price itakuwa hivi, it's more expensive. To me, I'm like, ni sawa. Tulikuwa napanga kuinvest. Nikipandisha hiyo bei, nitainvest na hiyo bei. But I need to take my time and analyze it. So a bit of both, because there are some things nimefanya very risk tolerant. And there are some that have been averse. But I think it depends on the amount, it depends on the payout, and it depends on my understanding of the thing. Kama ni kitu na najua nitaingiza pesa hapa na inaweza potea, but I can make my money. Na I feel like I want that money in and out. Unajua? But I would not advocate for that. But take the time.
Take your time. Also, if you understand the whole what you're investing in, you understand how it works. I feel like you'll know what to do. You'll know what you want to do.
And that is one of the most famous like investment advice that you'd be given. You're told invest in something that you understand. The more complex it is, the more you need to steer clear or be wary of it. Oh, we have this company based in Silicon Valley, and what you don't
fancy terms. Giving you all the fancy terms.
My buzzwords, nini.
Can't
really see where. So the simpler the better in terms of investment. The simpler the better. Then if you don't know what the product is, you probably eat. So ukiingia kwa vitu zenye wanakuambia, you just need to open an account, then you'll get money, and you don't need to pay for anything. You're the product. So think whether it can be your networks, it can be your data, it can be, the product. So hakunanga pesa ya bure. Utaambiwa sijuaje, but hakuna pesa ya bure.
Hakuna. So I know there's kuna types za cryptocurrencies, but the most famous one that's always in my ears is Bitcoin. And as somebody who does not understand how that whole mining goes on, could you just tell us kidogo tu ile tu kutuguzililia tusibaki tulivyokuja hapa?
So hii ni exclusive. I think kuna YouTube Premium where we need to charge. I'm working on a video on the same. So to your followers,
I
have a YouTube channel.
Nitakuweka hapo.
Kuna IG mahali.
Yes.
Yeah. But the thing with cryptocurrency is one, I would say I'm a believer in it. So my opinions might be a bit biased. So to whoever is watching this, work with that knowledge. A guy, later Satoshi Nakamoto, sat with some devs, and they decided that we cannot leave the responsibility of this economic system in the hands of people who are greedy and are only thinking about their own interests. And they wanted something that would be decentralized, something that the market would determine what its value is, and something that cannot be manipulated by anybody, so that if this money is X amount, that is what it is. If you have determined that this shilling is worth, this dollar is worth 100 shillings to us, then everybody can operate at that same level. So now Bitcoin as the coin was made, and it was made with a few features that make it an ideal alternative to fiat currency. And one is the way it's made, they're made in limited supply. Only 21 million of Bitcoins will ever be produced.
Wow.
Ever. The way that they are extracted, they're extracted at a constant rate, and that rate mimics the rate at which people extract gold from the earth. So zikitoka, siwezi sema ati I want 1 Bitcoin, I want 200 Bitcoins, and I go get 200 Bitcoins. The supply is limited. Na vile zinatoka ziko also limited. So the thing that changes the price of this Bitcoin is the demand. So if you demand more of it than is available, what happens?
What happens?
So, let's go back to the loaf of bread. Everybody wants a loaf of bread. Kuna mkate moja. So who is going to get this bread?
The one that can step up. Mwenye anaweza afford, mwenye kuna pesa.
Exactly. So that's the same relation, like the demand and supply relationship. With increased demand and limited supply, the thing that will change is the price. Now, the way it's made that it's divisible up to 8 decimal places. So if you wanted Bitcoin worth 100 bob, you can get Bitcoin worth 100 bob. No, because you'd get 0.000 something, and you're able to exchange for the exact value that you want to trade for. If you want to do what? If you want Bitcoin worth 100K, then you can get 0 point something Bitcoin for the same amount. So what that does now is this money that we're using in and of itself, saizi when we're in the introduction, place of its lifeline, is an asset, because with potentially increasing demand for it, its value increases. But they will get to a time where it's going to reach its true value, and like just stagnate, like at that point. na itakuwa stable. Now, the fact that it's not released by any government, it's not released by any individual, the verification of these transactions are not responsibility of any single entity.
Yeah.
The market will keep it, will keep the value true. And that's like the logic behind it. No. So for me, I think it's about time that money evolved as everything else has evolved.
Yeah.
You know, we're moving into a time where everything is digital. Yeah. So it was only a matter of time that this thing becomes digital. Some arguments against it is, you know, who controls it?
Yeah,
what government, nini. But to me, you need somebody limiting their world.
Yeah.
To the government. No.
Yeah.
Like government wamesema tunaweza fanya hii, so tunafanya hii. But the way we are living life right now, everything is unlimited. The possibilities of even using the internet is endless. At what point do you think that we'd have conversations in separate locations?
Yeah.
And, you know, so
but
like, things are evolving.
Real talk in real sense. Who actually is responsible for Bitcoin? Like who makes those rules? Yeah, are the people who are mining it and interacting with it the ones that get to? They are.
So terminologies. So mining.
Yeah.
For the people
the mining part of it. Yeah.
Is where? Earth-shaking conversations.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin is a currency.
Yeah.
Just as Kenyan shilling, dollar, you know, yen is a currency.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is a means to an end.
Yeah.
So how do I make money from? How do I make money from Bitcoin? Or how does, you know, Bitcoin is not a business. Bitcoin is the money.
It's the money.
The money. Yeah. So it's how do I accumulate the Bitcoin? So it's acting as an asset because we've not yet gotten to the true value because of supply and demand. But Bitcoin is the money. It is powered by a system called blockchain technology.
Yeah.
Blockchain technology is a decentralized system where the YouTube Premium. Blockchain technology is a decentralized system where a transaction will be done and people within a certain network will be able to see the transaction. Then these people are tasked with the responsibility of verifying that transaction that Kibbs sent 1 Bitcoin to Rita. So from my account of my ledger, in a fact, some -1, +1.
Yeah.
If that transaction is verified as true, then we need to update our records in that now if you had 10, now you have 11. And if I had 10, now I have 9. So when that transaction is verified, the accounts are updated and the record is updated for everybody who has sight. For everybody who has sight of those accounts, which in this case is everybody in the network.
Yeah.
So now everybody has a copy of the ledger or the records that show that Kibbs is now at 9 Bitcoin and Rita is at 11. And the process of verifying, the process of verifying that transaction results in somebody being rewarded for that work. So you now being paid in Bitcoin for verifying Bitcoin transactions is what is called mining. So when you're talking about miners, these are people who are verifying transactions within the system, within the ledger for the system. Then it gets updated to everybody. Then the next transaction is verified, and that's how they make money. Right now, it will take you a bit more, say, capital to obtain this Bitcoin because of the number of people who are getting it. At Kitambo, people used to play like a phone game and they're rewarded 2 Bitcoins because nobody had interest then. Then interest kakapanda, then people could mine. Mining is now doing this computation. People could mine and verify these transactions with just their computer. Right now, as we speak, people have like warehouses of supercomputers running to verify these transactions before anybody else for them to earn it. So it's now very expensive to do, but because the demand has increased, so even the competition has increased, processing power of these transactions have increased, and it's more difficult to say earn Bitcoin while mining as compared to somebody who just say, okay, you're selling Bitcoin at $200, says the price equal 50K USD for one, and they have 50K, give me 1 Bitcoin. No. So yeah, so that's what the mining is. And I believe that that's where we're headed, because if you think about all the things, if you think about the concept in itself, we have replicated that concept in other things that we didn't. Supermarkets wanapea loyalty points, alafu wanakuambia each loyalty point is worth a shilling. No. So by them saying that it's worth a shilling, you take their word and exchange that point for a shilling. And it's the same thing with our money size, with fiat at the moment. The only reason your 1,000 bob is worth 1,000 shillings and can earn you goods or services worth 1,000 shillings is because the government have said that 1,000 shillings is worth 1,000 shillings by making it legal tender. Siku moja, just as the government did, walisema, this 1,000 shilling note is worth nothing after this. So whether you had the 1,000 or not, because the government have said that this thing is not worth anything now, it loses all its value. And those are the inefficiencies. Those are the inefficiencies that Satoshi Nakamoto and other people who've created other cryptocurrencies have identified and say that, no, we can't operate like that. We need something better. And cryptocurrency is what they're proposing as the better alternative. So now the thing with cryptocurrency, with its widespread application and, being able to verify transactions, being unable to manipulate it, it's going to be a tool that people would consider more trustworthy. And the minute you start accepting it as currency, kama vile Tesla walisema, they can accept payments for their vehicles in crypto. And inaanza kugain application, and that is like a vote by you and I saying that we trust this thing to handle our exchange of value. And just like that, it becomes currency.
It becomes currency. That's actually
it becomes money. I think that's one of the simplest ways that I can put it.
You've done a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My accountant will be in touch.
Tuandike to invoice to tally your pesa. I think another thing I would want to just get the basics on is on to charge forex trading and the whole idea. I've had it so many times. I'm just like, I think okay, what? Plus, but also I think I'm very ignorant. But mwalimu tufunze leo. Teach us your ways, let's say.
Forex is foreign exchange. Which is basically buying and selling of foreign currencies. So I'm exchanging my dollars for Kenya shillings. And again, back to the laws of demand and supply. So when the demand for the dollar is high, that pushes its perceived value higher. So for somebody who, say, obtained a dollar at 100 bob, and the demand for the dollar increases to a place where somebody is willing to spend 110 shillings to get that same dollar, approaches you, or out there, wanasema, okay, I'm willing to sell my dollar for 110 shillings, and they bought it at 100 shillings. So for them, they have a profit margin of 10 bob on the same dollar that they bought. When the demand for it declines, its perceived value also declines. So for this dollar that somebody bought at 100, people are saying we don't want that. And if you really want to sell it, ukilia sana nitakupea 90 bob. Nitakupea 90 bob. And rid you of your dollars. So the thing with forex trading, they're looking for those increases and decreases in the demand for them to find the arbitrage or the profit in between. So that's why there is a buy and sell value for these dollars, and often they are different. Kuna distance. Kama umeingia kwa bank ukaona hiyo buy and sell, or any news channel you see the buy and sell, the same dollar at the same time, unapata mtu anauza anasema they'll buy at 95 shillings, but they will sell to you at 105. The 10 shillings in between is their profit margin, or it's their arbitrage. So when people tell you about forex trading, it's the same concept. Now they're putting you in a position where you can buy and sell different currencies depending on their perceived values based on news and information that's out there. So unapata mtu amesema the federal government of US wamesema we're not printing any more dollars for the next year. That means dollars hazitaonekana. A lot of people in the world trade with dollars. So that means it's going to be more difficult for you to trade if you don't have these dollars. And that results in like a rush for people to buy those dollars to hold. Why was it to me? Let him talk to me. That rush will translate into an increased demand. So now this increased demand inafanya watu waseme, okay, nimepata mtu anauza dollar 110 shillings. It's a bit more expensive, but the government have a print zingine. So wacha ninunue niweze kufanya biashara vile nilikuwa nataka kufanya. No, so the perceived value of that dollar is not at 100 bob, but it's more at that point in time. So that's now how those people trade. They trade on news, they trade on events, they trade on. So that information helps them make an educated guess. And it's guess because nobody really knows the future.
Yeah.
An educated guess was the dollar is going to be more, the yen is going to be more valuable, and they need to get them. And here's where my profit margin lies. Yeah.
We have our last question. I think as to how this is a space where we talk about mental health. I'll just definitely it'll come in sooner or later. So I want to discuss mental health and finances for just the basics, especially in a world where again we are so connected, and it's so easy for us to see what other people are doing with trade, with money, with their own lives. We have access to this information, and one way or another, it's going to affect you positively or negatively. And especially in terms of finances, again, social media, you and your negative relationship with Instagram. I'm not sure what that is. I love Instagram, but I feel like in the same sense, I have such a love-hate relationship. Love-hate relationship with Instagram, because I've been at a place where I was like, guys, tell me what you're doing, because I can also do it, because I felt kind of left out, and I was wondering, funny, people my age look like they're really making it out here. Kwani, what am I doing wrong? And one way or another, to say, definitely my finances got involved, because maybe like for example, influencers. Hey, huyu dem alienda sijui wapi and she bought which dress, sijui what, and I end up really deviating from my goal with what I wanted to do with my finances for that season or for that time, and I end up maybe splurging or just like basically just deviating from the initial plan of what to do with my finances. In your own personal, I don't want to say struggle, in your own personal experience with money and finances and your mental health, what are some of maybe the measures or some key notes you've taken on making sure you remain mentally sane, especially with finances and mental health and social media? Ziweke tu hapo zote pamoja, or just comparison in general?
One thing is recognizing that you will only see what people want to show you when it comes to Instagram, and this has translated in people sharing their highlights of their life, not sharing the pits or the shortcomings in their life, their struggles. So if you see that throughout, you will be forced to compare somebody else's highlights with your life. Some of these people wakienda kucheck my Instagram, watapata na kuanga nimeoga vizuri, But here I am on a regular day, living regular life. So when you go to my Instagram, I feel, hey, this guy, life is good based on 7 pictures.
Yes.
So when you start recognizing like those differences and you start detaching yourself from those things, your in a sense, taking care of your own mental health.
Yeah.
In a sense, taking care of yourself and be showing yourself love and compassion.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as I said, we are living in a very consumer-driven society.
Yes. Yes.
So all those pages you follow, like influencers, shopping pages, luxury brands, they are selling to you a lifestyle. They're selling to you aspirations. And if you do not recognize that these people are selling to you, then you might think that some people, and quote unquote majority of the people in life, are leading that type of lifestyle, which is a lie.
Yeah.
No. So unfollowing some of those pages are some of acts of kindness. Kamimi, I won't shy away and say that, but it's always been this way with me. I have followed people and followed them back again, based on like I feel, and that is me acknowledging that this is how I feel, and this is how this environment makes me feel. And if it's a feeling that I do not want to feel, sinajitoa. Then after some time, you feel like, oh, you haven't thought about it as much. You've not thought of that Mercedes Benz that I can buy, that Cullinan that should be in your driveway. Then I go and follow that page. And it's a trigger. It triggers the same emotions, because these are things that, one, we either aspire to, or we are made to believe that we should aspire to those things. So when somebody takes the time and determine what exactly are your values, what exactly are things that are important to you, and then curate your pages in that manner, then you will be receiving triggers of things that are enforcing you to be the type of person that you want to be. Akuna, there's no should in life. Like there's no a certain way that somebody should live. Okay, you should live in your truest version or your highest self, but nobody said that you should say get degree, master's, PhD, BMW, 5-bedroom house, Nini. Those are nice things for people to, to make life comfortable. But at the end of the day, life is, in my opinion, life is a collection of experiences, and it's for you to determine what sort of experiences will give you the most utility. What sort of experiences will help you
feel fulfilled.
Like you've lived your life. And it all starts like personally, because for me, like, no, this is the type of lifestyle they're living online. I think about it. For example, the party always at events type of lifestyle. That thing can seem glamorous, like 100K people have followed somebody because they're always out, they seem to have a lot of friends, But I would sit to myself and I'm like, first of all, I don't want to be around those many people. So I might as well detach myself from those triggers. I'm at those cues that are making, that want me to believe that this is what I should want. I also think if you understand that much, then you won't be pressured by outside. And then also in your pursuit of money, do not forget what's truly important. And that comes in your relation with other people, that comes in the relationships that you have, the sort of support that you have.
Yeah.
So yes, you're working hard to earn all this money, but take time away from it and think about, am I really foregoing whatever is truly important?
Yeah.
This pursuit of the accumulation of wealth for the sake of accumulating wealth.
Yeah.
Or for you, is money a means to an end? Is money good because it affords you opportunities and time to enjoy things that you truly enjoy? I can be earning money but I'm never home. Na mtu mwingine atakuwa na earn less but they always have time for their family.
Yeah.
So if family is important, then this person with less is leading a better life than this person with more, and they're by themselves. So money is glorified a bit too much in our society.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for people to remember or recognize that money is just a means to an end. Money should only be used to afford you time and opportunity to do the things that bring you true fulfillment, rather than it being the goal.
When I was planning for this year, I remember I was talking to my cousin and she was like, I'd like to go to Dubai. And I was like, I also want to go to Dubai. But then I sat down and I was like, I don't care if I go to Dubai. When it came down to actually me really thinking about it, very realistic, not just because I've seen pictures and how Dubai is nice, but I'm just like, I really don't think I care about Dubai. Because I'd want to go at some point, but right now I'm just like, maybe go for an exchange program somewhere. Something. I feel like I want to do something more fulfilling, because before I reward myself, because Dubai is a reward.
Yeah.
I want to do something. This other thing that I want that looks like, you want to go for holiday and actually work. To somebody else, it's like, to me, I'm like, this is what will make me feel fulfilled. And then now if I go to Dubai, I'm like, I feel I'm rewarding myself for something I did.
Yeah.
We say in salvation, like salvation is very personal, but also I feel like life is very, very personal.
Mm-hmm.
The things that make you fulfilled are not the things that make me feel fulfilled. And understanding that and being very true to yourself, it makes you, like, it will help you make so many decisions in life very quickly. Just, no. So that's for me. Pass, thank you, next time. So even in relationship with finances, because most of our dreams will be fueled by finances. They create those opportunities you're talking about. They'll place us with people and things and certain experiences. So that's for me, that I feel like that is what, even right now, as I'm trying to be more financially intelligent and literate and wise, I feel like that is something that will help me just to personalize my own experience with money and with just life in general.